There were some things I wanted to say tonight. It took me a while to write it, but I want to first say thank you to Mr. Lucas for recording many of our concerts this year. And he's probably busy in the background. I would like to, first of all, thank my A band. We had a great 4-day weekend. Was that a 4-day weekend? Did we call that? We made it a 4-day weekend to Los Angeles last weekend, and we had a fantastic time together. I take these guys on the road anytime, anywhere. I don't have enough time to plan another trip, though. That's the only problem. They're all moving on. So I think there's a little bit of we're a bit of in a recovery mode yet tonight, but we still have one more piece to play, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But I would like to award our A-Band awards. And the 2 section leaders have just been fabulous all the way through the time that I knew them. One since he was in 6th grade, and my other since 7th grade. So not enough time, but I'd like to award the first award to Lizzie Miroff. And the second award will go to William Lum. We took a beautiful picture at Disneyland before our performance on Saturday, and I was the only one who bought the photos. And so I knew it would be special. They're going to have to figure out some other way to, with iPhones and whatnot, to make their own copy. Tonight's a milestone event for me, as this is my final concert here at Cupertino. I plan to be pursuing other opportunities and eventually to relocate to Oregon to be closer to my dear parents. To say that I've loved this job would be a very big understatement. And outside of my family, this has been pretty much the only thing I do for over 30 years. I have loved middle school kids, and I will miss them greatly. And I have learned many, many, many lessons, and I think I've learned more than anybody in my time here at Cupertino. Thank goodness there was no social media back in 1988. Thank goodness there's not much record. But I was reminded by my 2 dear colleagues, Patty Wilmore and Autumn B. They came to our concert last night, and Autumn B reminded me that she and Barbara Wyden, the school secretary, raised me. My first years, it was my second job, and it was, I relocated from Oregon. I am a native Californian, but anyway, I came back to California to be married, and it was my first job here, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was just a child. And they took me under their wing, and I will tell you, there's so many things that I advise the students, but there's a reason, and I've had a hard lesson over everything I've learned, so it's very hard earned. But I am so grateful that the lessons that I came through the vehicle of music. I'm so grateful that when I was just a child, I knew that music was going to be it. I loved my middle school band director, Mr. Herb Hopkins. He was there for me at very hard times, and I would spend many a lunchtime in his room practicing and basically hiding from mean people. And as a result, for most of my career, I've had my room open at brunch, lunch, and after school for anybody who wanted to be there to practice, be with their friends, or ignore me, whatever they wanted to do. I would like to thank my teachers. Besides Herb Hopkins, Martha Herbie, my flute instructor at Lewis and Clark College, Adam Michelin, Victor Morosco. Victor Morosco, I learned his method of wind playing, and you should look him up on YouTube, Victor Morosco. He is somebody that people knew all over the world could fix people's playing, and advise him on single reeds, and he completely redid my flute embouchure after 29 years of playing. And I'm grateful for having learned that lesson, that very, very hard lesson of rebuilding my embouchure after 29 years. I would like to thank my colleague Jeff Yeager. We've been transitioning all year. He set up this whole concert, and I'm really grateful for him. He's been really wonderful. The school is in great hands under his direction. I want to thank the administration and Kara Butler for all of her support over these years. For parents who support music education, for Music Boosters, I would like to thank. And personally, I'd like to thank my mom and dad. They've been fabulous people. My mother never missed a concert, ever. And I know that they would be here tonight if it weren't for such a long distance. And my dad has just recovered from surgery. And then my final statement, I couldn't finish this without saying thank you to my family, my husband Mark, and in particular my children Brittany and Brendan, who have literally been there forever. And they came to meet with me since they were babies, and literally, and they've come to every event, and they've helped me in so many ways, large and small. Honestly, it's been my honor that my children are there all the time to help me, and so I really couldn't have done it all these years without really the faithfulness of my two children. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to me and letting me blab on a little bit about my sentiments and how I feel. I'm just so grateful that they took a chance on me many years ago, and they hired a young girl who had a lot to learn, and so I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to learn. I will say it has been very difficult at times, but I have a lot of fond memories, and I will leave that way this year. So. I will say one thing before Lily comes up. Our composer of our final piece is in the audience tonight. Bobby Rose wrote Centurion for us. I think, and he's going to have to help me on the math here, but I think it was about 6 years ago. We decided that, and I can't remember whose idea this was, but he reworked it for us, and so it's called Centurion 2.0. Bobby started his musical career here at Cupertino Middle School in the beginning band playing trumpet. He started composing music here at Fremont High School and continued on to get a BA in music from UC San Diego and a master's in music from the Film Institute, from music for film from the Seattle Film Institute. He currently lives in Burbank, working on music for movies as well as video games. And so, Lily, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Centurion 2.0 is a piece composed in honor of our advanced band. The composer, Bobby Rose, is in the audience tonight listening to the first ever performance of his work. Keep in mind that a centurion is a Roman commander of the army as you listen to the last piece tonight. Thank you.